guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Ailey and today's video is going to be all about this. This is the Laura Lee Los Angeles Nudie Patootie palette. I have been posting about this because I did do a look with it. I was actually holding off to do a video on this because I'm waiting on the new Morphe Sculpt and Shimmer palettes, I think they're called. Basically, I got an email through saying that they were going to be released, or they were released, something like that, and I literally ordered one straight away because I would really like a palette with bronzer and contour and highlight all in one place. One, maybe possibly to use in my kit, and two, obviously it's dead easy for travel then and not having to take a million different things with me. So I ordered that and I was waiting for it to arrive because I thought I could film it all in one day and it would just save me time and stuff like that, but it hasn't arrived yet. So I thought, Monday's tomorrow, it might arrive tomorrow and I can do it then, and for now I can just do this one because one, I can't really hold off using it again, and two, I need a video for tomorrow. So yeah, we're going to be talking about this today. So this is the palette here. As you can see, it's a pretty decent sized palette, but it's nice and thin, so it's not too kind of bulky or anything like that, and it's nice and thin that way as well. And this is the outer packaging, which I really like. And inside the palette we have the same, it's just got a sticker on the back. This time it's got this really nice ombre, so from light to dark, and it's got the double L there and the double L on the top, so that's her kind of logo or whatever. And then on the front here we've got Nudie Patootie, and it's just a raised sort of glossy finish, and the packaging itself is matte. It's got that sort of really soft touch cardboard, and then you've got the sort of emblem there as well. And if I open it up, I have already used this palette. You get a really reasonable sized mirror in here, and then these are the shades. Now I went back and forth about buying this palette, I don't know how many times, because I mean if you look at the shades, there's nothing revolutionary in there. There really isn't, maybe apart from, you know, these kind of guys here. I actually really was intrigued by this colour here and this one here. This one is similar to one that's in the Jaclyn Hill palette, but you know, the shades, actually looking a wee bit closer at them, they're not like every other shade that, you know, you may have. You get 14 shades in the palette. We've got plenty of matte shades, and then you've got a sort of shimmery shade here and here, and then these are more like pressed glitters. I think this one is sort of like a pressed glitter as well. But what I'll do is I'm going to do a look with this palette today, and I'm going to swatch them all for you. So before I do that, I did actually see on other people's tutorials, and I think from Laura herself, Au Naturel and Jaybird especially really should be used with a glitter glue. The look that I did with this before is on my Instagram, so if you want to check that out, my Instagram name is just Aylierose. The shade that I used on my eye was Jaybird, and I didn't use a glitter glue because I don't own a glitter glue. I keep going to buy one and I keep forgetting. But it didn't move, and I can tell you I wore that for about 8 hours and that shadow did not move. So I was actually really quite surprised at that. Whether it was a fluke or not, I don't know. I did use a primer with it, so I don't know if that made a difference, but I did not use a glitter glue and it lasted all day and it was beautiful. It's such a pretty shade. So yeah, I guess I will just get right onto the swatches now, and then after I do the swatches I can get on to doing some sort of eye look with this. Okay, so the first shade we have is Stark, then Undressed, then Topless, and then Streaking. The next 3 shades on the top row are Uncover, Strip, and Bare. Onto the second row we've got Exposed. This is one of the sort of glittery shades. Au Naturel, Reveal, and Jaybird. Jaybird is just the most stunning shade. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. The way it shifts, it's just stunning. Butt Naked, Buff, and Nakey Nakey. Okay, so that's all the swatches, and I think you'll agree with me when I say that the shades in here are stunning. I mean, just the sort of duochrome with that Jaybird is just, it's like my favourite shade in the whole palette. And yeah, I do really like the sort of texture of Exposed, Au Naturel and Jaybird. Buff's a little bit like that as well. It's a little bit drier, but I mean, you've got to kind of be very, very gentle when you dip into them. And I would say that applying most of it with your fingers is probably a good idea. And what I mean by most of it is, if you're like me and you have tiny eyes, and if you're going to stamp in here with your finger, it's just going to be a nightmare. Obviously you need to get that bit with a brush, or if you've got like massive nails, mine are quite small, so I can normally do it not too bad. But you know, if you kind of get the bulk of it on and then you can focus on the edges with a brush, then that is a little bit easier. So yeah, we're just going to crack on now, and I'm going to do some sort of eyeshadow look just to let you see what the shadows perform like in real life. I have no idea what I'm going to do, but we're just going to wing it, I suppose. I'm just putting this right up the top. I just really do that as a guide, and then I'm going to go in with my Morphe R38 brush, I think it is. Anyway, I'm going to go into the shade Strip, and I'm going to focus that in my crease. Like I said again, if you haven't seen those other videos, if you've got hooded eyes, then they're maybe worth a watch. I'll stick them up in the corner for you. These are blending out really, really nicely. I mean, I've not had any issues. I've used this palette, this is my second time using it, and I've not had any issues with it thus far anyway. Go into Nakey Nakey, which is the darkest shade in the palette, and I'm going to focus this mostly on my outer corner. And I'm just going back into Strip just to blend out the edges of that and add that colour back in, because it would have been mostly covered, if not blended away, when we're adding the dark shadow. I'm going to sort of do a half cut crease type thing, and I'm just going to go in with my Paint Early Paint Pot from MAC, and I'm just going to put a base down, purely because I just want a little bit of something for the next shade to stick to. Okay, and now I'm going to take the shade Au Naturel with my finger and just press that onto my eyelid. As I said earlier, I'm just sort of getting the bulk of my eyelid with this. And then I'll get a little brush. Honestly, this shade, or like any of these shades, I know like they're supposed to be sort of pressed glitters. I can see, yeah, there is glitter in them, but they're like, I don't know, they're almost like moussey. They're a really cool texture. It just means that it's really difficult to pick them up on a brush. I'm going to pick up Strip on my blending brush, and I'm just going to go really, really lightly over the edges. I'm going to grab some of the shade Stark and go sort of in the centre, just to brighten that a little bit, I think. And I'm really just blending that in, you know, so you kind of can't really see it's there, it's just brightened up the gold just a little bit. Just touch up this outer part here, because inevitably you do end up blending a little bit of the lid shade onto it, and it can kind of get rid of the intensity a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go on the lower lash line now, and I'm going to do what I normally do. I'm going to take a little bit of that Au Naturel shade, pop that. I'm going to take the shade Reveal just because it's not too intense. And I'm going to run that underneath there first. And then another brush, I'm going to take Strip just to get that sort of yellowy hue into it as well. Tie it all in. Then I'm going to grab my little e.l.f. eyeliner brush and grab Nakey Nakey and put that right in the base of my lashes. This is not really a highlight shade that I'm feeling in the palette. I'm going to grab my Anastasia Nicole Glow Kit, and I'm going to grab the shade 143. Then I'm going to run a brown eyeliner in my waterline. I'm going to finish up the rest, which is just going to be lashes and mascara and that, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the final look, but no, I actually really like how it's turned out. I mean, I did use a highlighter from a different palette, but pretty much apart from that, everything else is from this palette. I did throw on some falsies, but yeah, that is pretty much it. So, final thoughts on this palette. I have used it a couple of times, so this isn't like a first impressions or anything. This is an actual review. And all of the shades that I've used in it, I really, really like. And the reveal shade that I didn't really like the swatch of, I kind of was a little bit iffy on it. I actually do really like because I used that on my lower lash line. So I haven't used a few of the shades yet, but I'm sure that you will see them appear in future videos. How much was this? Okay, so I got this palette from Beauty Bay and it was £38, and I was actually looking at the Soft Glam palette and I think it's like 42, and it's got the same amount of shades in it, and you get the same amount of shades in these palettes. Sorry, I'm just gonna hang back here. So, you know, these pans are actually bigger over in the Laura Lee palette, and I know obviously Anastasia is a much bigger brand. I'm sure that Laura will get there eventually, but for now obviously she's only got a couple of palettes out. I did see that she's releasing lip colours next, or she did a sneak peek with 3 of them anyway. Hopefully she'll have like a massive range of products eventually, but I think for the price and that, this is a really, really good palette. How much do you get in here? Each pan is 1.65 grams. So you're getting a decent amount of product. I think that's the same as like a single eyeshadow. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm really not sure. But yeah, I can't wait to try and do more looks with this palette. If you were swithering about buying it or you were on the fence about buying it, I would definitely say it is worth the money. If you have like 1,000,001 shades like this, I mean, a lot of these shades I don't have, especially the glittery ones, so I think that's what attracted me to it. But if you have loads and loads of shades like this, you may not need it, but I don't know, I really like it. Hey guys, so I just wanted to quickly jump on. It's now 11:30 at night here. I think I put this makeup on around about, I don't know, 5 o'clock maybe earlier than that, I'm not sure. But really I just wanted to jump on and show you what the eye makeup was holding up like, because it's been on for like a really long time. So I thought I'll zoom you in and I'll let you see how the eyeshadow's holding up just now, and it'll show you. I actually think that they hold up really well, but you can be the judge of that. I can't really see in the viewfinder, but I can see in my mirror, and I mean, you can probably see for yourself. Obviously it's not transferred because I always pull my shadow up that high anyway because I want to avoid transfer, because it will transfer anyway, but it's not really like creased or anything like that. I mean, there's maybe some tiny little creases, but it's not bunched up, it's not gone all flaky or cracky or anything like that. The shadows are still as intense as when I first applied them. I mean, it's not moved. I don't have my lashes on anymore. I took them off earlier because I eventually get fed up of them. And yeah, I'm really impressed. So just a wee side note, I thought that before I wash my makeup off for the evening, I just thought I would jump on and show you what it was looking like. And yeah, I am really impressed. This bit was me. I kind of overdid it a little bit with that, but I mean, yeah, I'm really impressed with this palette and I cannot wait to use it more. So yeah, back to the video. And I think that is where I'm going to wrap up this video. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you have any suggestions on looks that I should do with this palette or shades that I should use from it, let me know, or any other video suggestions for that matter. I do post videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!